Hey everybody, it's Jody from Burdick Off-Road Adventures here today.
What's going on? Evan from the Adventures of Rogers and Henderson.
Milton from Bareback Broncos.
Awesome. All right, Bronco couldn't be with us tonight, so we'll miss him, but we'll have him here in a couple of weeks back with us. So tonight we just kind of talk behind stage. One of the things we'll miss him, but we'll have him here in a couple of weeks back with us. Sorry about that. And so one of the things we want to talk about tonight, we talk about real quick because Milton and I have both done some shopping here recently, and then Evan, if you want to go into your some of the goodies that you got too here after a while. So some of you all who follow us on social media bought a new radiator, CSF. So I really looked into it because the Full Race Motorsports, which apparently is based here in Phoenix, I never heard of them before. They do a lot of turbo motor stuff, and they're in the Arizona Bronco group. So some people were posting about the new radiator coming out from CSF, and the guy that works there, their social media person, so to speak, I don't know what his exact title is, he posted on there about having 50 of them in stock. So I messaged him, DM'd him just to kind of see what was up. And if you go on CSF's website where it has that Bronco radiator on it, they mentioned Full Race as their person who they partnered with to develop it. So it was R&D here by Full Race Motorsports in the Phoenix area. So I thought it was pretty cool. But, the listing price, most people, I think the MSRP is like in the mid 700s, but I think all the vendors I've seen who've had it priced are around $699. Now, I'm not going to give the full price amount on here, but I'll just say that he did give me a little discount because I'm local and I picked it up, so he didn't have to ship it, which I've had several vendors do that before. JCR did it for me when I lived in Chicago. I went over and picked up my front bumper and saved like $150 because I didn't have to ship it. So it worked out pretty good. So, according to the website, it's a pretty significant bump in cooling capacity. We haven't put it on yet. I've been trying to find videos and resources on that because I've never done a radiator swap before. And this being my only driver, I have to be kind of careful. I can't screw it up and have the luxury of driving something else. So hopefully might try to get that done Sunday. We'll see. I'm not.
Can you put it up on the split screen, Jody, so people can see which one you're talking about?
I can share it. Hang on one second. And then we will go here. Hang on one second here. Share screen. Okay, why is this not popping up? Oh, window. Here we go. To the window, to the wall. All right, here you go. So this is a picture of it sitting over here beside me. It's pretty basic. There's not a lot there's no automatic transmission. So apparently the automatic transmission cooler is not linked to the radiator. I don't know if that's just a common practice nowadays or what. I will have to take the condenser. I did find some videos on some F-150s with the EcoBoost motors that I'm going to use for reference. And on those, you do have to pretty much take the grill out and probably take the shutters out too. My understanding is that you have to loosen up the condenser, which is on the front of the radiator, loosen it off there. You can't pull it out because then you have to recharge it. At least that's what I'm led to believe. And then unhook the fan shroud on the back end of it. Of course, obviously you got to drain it first, and then unhook the hoses and just pull it out and put the new one back in and reverse that process. That's kind of where, that's the game plan I'm going for. We'll see how it works pretty smoothly. I want to do a step-by-step video so that way people who also are interested in doing this, they'll have a resource. Mishimoto has a radiator as well. Their website has instructions, but it conveniently leaves out the how do you unhook the factory one. It just goes, first set of instructions is, first step is remove factory radiator. I was like, okay, well, can you at least not go through what that looks like?
Yeah.
For us who aren't mechanics, full-time mechanics. So that's kind of a big bummer on that part. And CSF doesn't have anything because it's brand new. So hopefully they might put out something here soon, but I'm not going to wait on them. I'll just say first and foremost, I don't think this is absolutely necessary for most people. Me rolling on 38s and lower gears in the middle of the Phoenix, Arizona, Sonoran Desert, my truck runs hot when I go up these big mountains down here. So this, I think, will help me get some of that temperature down. Also got an intercooler on the way too. So that's the game plan for now. At some point, I'll probably do what Milton just recently did, and I'll let him discuss that. But for now, I figured this is a good starting point, and then we'll go from there. So Milton, you have some recent cooling.
I did. Much like you, I was experiencing a little bit of heat, especially at idle on the trail. Just a little bit about my rig. I run 37-inch tires, rooftop tent. I had an awning on there, and probably about 200 to 300 pounds of gear in the back. Just some installation advice for you when you run that. I mean, you're going to have to take your skid plates off, potentially loosen up your bumper to give you a couple of inches of space for wrenching. It looks like on the bottom tube there on the left, if you go back one picture, there, yeah, right there, that's going to be probably the most challenging. If you to pull off the fender liner, you could get to that tube pretty easily. And I would really get a good set of hose clamp pliers that lock on, so you can literally lock them on that side and then work on the other side while you have that one locked. It will make your life a little bit easier. With my system that I just did, I can show you what I did.
Okay.
1 second here. Can everybody see that?
I don't see anything yet. So you look on Instagram?
It's a website. It said share the page.
Okay, you have to present, and then you have to share a screen.
Yeah.
And then you have to select on Windows. There, if you want to, you can just PM me the.
No, I got you. Here we go.
And Scott, just to answer Scott's B12 Raptor, the intercooler I went with was the CPE one. I don't have it yet. I ordered about a month and a half ago from Panda Motorworks, and they told me it was supposed to ship out a couple of weeks ago, and I still hadn't seen anything. So,
yeah.
All right.
So the first piece that I did was the CVS Performance intercooler. You're talking about 2.5-inch factory intercooler. It's very tiny. It's low in the bumper, so if you go in any water over 2 foot, that thing just gets covered in mud. When I installed this guy, that's 3 3/4 inch thick, and it's a lot taller. Pretty simple to do. Just drop my skids. That shutter guard that you're talking about, just go ahead and take it out. It really doesn't serve a purpose, especially with you being in Arizona. You're not going to need it. It's more for that colder climate to help the motor heat up for your winters. But we're in Ohio, and I haven't had any issue, and I've had it out for a while. This comes in at $600. It's well worth it. I got the stainless one, and you can see it just basically sits on your tow hooks. So you drop those tow hooks down. There's a rubber grommet in there. You basically put that in, put the hoses on the back, and you're done. But I took it one step further, and they just released their hot and cold side charge pipes. And this is the kit that I just installed. It's going to take you about 2.5 hours to install this. And I would say the most challenging piece to install was this guy right here. This is on the passenger side, and it basically routes in front of the alternator, and it's just super, super tight, and you'll cut up your hands and whatever, but totally worth it. My turbo is a lot louder. I could definitely hear it spool faster, and I'm experiencing less turbo lag. The other piece that I got was, where's the blow off valve? Dual port. So I got this as well. And that basically vents the atmosphere instead of going back through the manifold. And it's just, it's nice. I mean, like, It's instant power. I feel like it's less laggy. Temperature wise, I haven't really been able to focus much on that, but I'm starting to record, temperatures. Am I seeing any increase in gas mileage? But overall fit and finish of it's pretty awesome. I would definitely do this again, and I wish I did it earlier.
And do you have a video coming out of this stuff as well?
I do. Yep. So I did a whole installation video on this. It turned out pretty awesome. And I should probably have that out next week. Right now we're running a battery box video that I'm maybe selling to Evan there. Who knows? But it's pretty cool.
So good. I like to hear about the website because I've had to ask the question, "Where's my hose at?" You could pull it up there. So
well, you get a lot of hose with this one. You definitely get your values worth for sure. The one thing that I liked about it is I came from the diesel performance background, and having really good intercooler and turbo hoses is really important. And I think that's where a lot of the value is in this kit. And the fit and finish too. It's like a powder coated wrinkle black finish, and the clamps are really nice too. A lot of times when you see these kits and they're a little bit lower price, they have cheap clamps in them, but CVF really did a good job. Jason did a good job engineering this thing, and he really gives you your money's worth.
Nice. Interesting though. I was going to say, you sparked my memory too. As I was at Full Race, they were kind of filling me in. They said that they're working on a new turbo upgrade for the Broncos.
Yeah. So that would be awesome because I know Full Race had it for their 3.5, their EcoBoost on their F-150s. Yeah. And then once that comes out, if that comes out, I would probably get with CVF, and I would probably go ahead and do their downpipes on their turbo. I think you would be pretty close to like a stock Raptor on power. I don't think it would be very much more than yours. And then I just recently talked to Edge Performance last week. They have their Pulsar XS coming out, and that will be somewhat custom tunable. Or I've heard that you can get F-150 FICOM and put them in the Broncos and custom tune them.
Yeah, he didn't give me a timeline or anything like that or any pricing points. He just mentioned it when I picked it up. He said, yeah, we're going to start working on that very soon. So that's something that's going to be coming. I was like, well, if you need a test vehicle.
Yeah. And then if you want a discount at CVF, if you use code Milton Hughes Jr., I can save you 10%.
Awesome. Yeah, I'll definitely use that. That's just something I'm kind of sitting there thinking right now, Milton. I'm just wondering if this might be something, that would be advisable to do while you're changing the radiator out.
You might as well, because you're going to pull that stuff out.
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see.
Factory intercooler pipes have like kinks in the bends the way that they go anyway. Yeah. So you're robbing yourself on efficiency alone. I mean, there's no reason to make your motor work harder than what it needs to. You guys have more than what I got going on. I only have the one turbo.
Yeah, and this pipe right here too. So if you look at your engine bay, and it's the big like horseshoe round one, it's like really long, and there's a lot of travel for the air to flow. They basically shortened it up by giving it more of a straight line. This one comes off of the passenger side turbo, so your blow off valve would mount here, and then this one comes down off of that would be the cold side of the passenger. But I really like how they engineered these two pieces to take a lot of that travel out, so it's more direct. And they did a really good job with it. And you can see there's not a lot of bends, and it's just straight boost. So it'll be interesting to see what the performance of this is.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, man.
And then if you want to spray it with water meth or anything like that, they give you the ports for it. There's like little Allen heads on there, and you basically just tighten them up and tighten the bung up if you don't want it. Again, the pipes are larger than the factory ones, and it sounds different. Like I have an MBRP exhaust too, It sounds a little bit quieter because of the material of the air. What it's flowing through, it's not flowing through plastic anymore. It's flowing through aluminum. So like at idle, I can hear a light whistle, which is pretty cool. Like if you're on the outside of the vehicle, you can hear a slight whistle from the exhaust now, which you couldn't hear before.
Yeah.
Jody, you have the Ford Performance Tuner, right?
Yeah, I do.
Can you mess with the threshold in the system for when the water pump kicks on or when the fan kicks on?
I don't know. I'm going to assume not. It's not Ford Performance Tuner. It doesn't have like flexibility, like say a Forescan or some of these other custom tuner things that at least I'm aware of. You pretty much, it's just a basic tune with the gear ratio change, the tire change, and the steering rack thing. But I'm pretty sure, I could be wrong. And somebody, if anybody's watching the answer to that, feel free to chime in. But I don't believe you can go in and control that directly in particular.
All right, then I wonder if you could do it with Forescan. Because I know, like, when I had a Z06, the first thing we did was HP tuners. We set the threshold lower, so essentially, if the car was running, the fan was running, and it just so when you're sitting there at the track, you're sitting there and the lane's ready to go. It's keeping it cool, so it's not heat soaked by the time you get up to the line. I don't know if you could work that. So your car's running, if the fan's pulling air through it.
Yeah, I know that's a good question. So maybe if somebody will get on here in the comments. And guys, when you're people who are watching, please consider that like button. It really helps us out. And the people who are watching after the fact, please do that as well if you don't mind. If anybody's watching us after the fact, please leave a comment below. If you know the answers to these questions, it's definitely something I think would benefit everybody. But yeah, that'd be interesting to know, because I think if you could do it on Ford Performance, don't think I wouldn't try it. But to be honest with you, when I went in there, I hadn't looked at it in a while, but when I went in there and looked at it, I didn't see a lot of functionality other than just some of the big stuff that everybody's already aware of. So, like I said, I could be wrong. So, yeah. So, Evan, what's been going on with you, man? I saw some pretty pictures today.
Got the FedEx guy or UPS guy, whatever he was, had to back into the driveway for the delivery day today. Had 6 boxes show up from Turn Off Road, and 2 boxes show up from Rock Crawler.
Nice.
So going with them for the spare tire tailgate system. Got the tailgate system itself, the spare tire relocation so I can mount it a little bit higher. Got the spare tire platform, a Molly panel bracket for the spare tire or the tailgate bracket, and then also a Rotopax mount for that and the tailgate table. And then the Rock Crawler stuff was new tie rods and new upper control arms.
Those look nice. I saw those pictures, man. Those look good.
And you should. So the thinnest part of these Rock Crawler tie rods are bigger than the beefiest part of the Icon tie rods. I'll go grab one real quick because I'm really excited about these things.
Yeah. So while he's doing that, I sell performance parts for ID Speed Shop. So we hooked Evan up with a discount. Anybody watching your channel, if they like the CVF and they want maybe some turn off road stuff, hit Bareback Broncos up. We're on Instagram. I work for ID Speed Shop in the evenings, and we'd like to give your viewers discounts. Just tell us what version of the episodes you guys were watching, and we'll make sure we treat you right. And that's idspeedshop.com. And I'm their Bronco enthusiast, so I do a lot of installations, videos, and pictures. So once Evan gets his stuff installed, we can post that to ID as well. And I also just got the rear tailgate as well. You're on mute, Jody.
Am I?
Jody,
The dogs were giving a hard time. Nice.
Woo! Look at that.
These are beefy.
Thick.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'll keep the icons as backups, but
Yeah.
I don't know. But the
So
thing about using the upper control arms, so like as you start to wear them in, you can adjust the preload on the ball joints.
Oh, nice.
Are you going to keep a set like in a box with you when you go on the Rubicon Trail? What do you plan to take with you in as far as like repair parts?
So definitely bring in. I mean, I doubt with these I'll need an extra set of tie rods, but I'll bring a set just in case somebody else needs one. Courtney said
It's
not
a team effort, by the way. It's a team effort. I'm bringing my stock CV axles.
Are you?
You're bringing that steering rack too, right?
Oh, I don't have that no more.
Oh, you got rid of it? Damn.
Yeah.
That's worth a shot. Yeah, definitely. I'm bringing a spare set of tie rods, whether or not anybody needs them, whatever, because they'll fit all of us. Unless Scott decides he's going to meet us there too, then he'll need his own set because they're different lengths.
I don't know if they'll fit mine though, will they? Even though it's a Haas 3.0, even though it's not a Raptor one, but I don't know.
Yeah, the Raptor ones have a different length tie rod.
Okay, so I wonder if the Wild Track Haas 3.0, because I wonder if they fit, if they're the same length as the regular Haas 2.0, or if they're interchangeable.
Yeah, as far as I know, the only difference is the thread length on the inner piece that threads into it, right? Because they use the same components, just one has a longer shank on it or whatever.
Yeah. There again, if anybody knows the answer, please comment in the comments below. Because
Scott, chime in.
Yeah, well, Scott's in a different category. He's in the Raptor.
That's what I'm saying. Because he would be able to tell us how long his factory tie rod is.
Yeah,
I expect him to run out and measure it, but he can comment later.
I mean, I've got the Bronkbuster clamp for those. It's different than the Haas 2.0 because it's bigger, but
right, different diameter.
Yeah, so I'll throw those on there for sure before we head out there. So that should prevent any damage.
Definitely bring those spare CVs.
Oh, for sure. I'm not going to bring the rear axles. I still got the factory rear axles. I put those Yukons in, but I just don't know if I'll have room to bring those. And let's be honest, there are not a lot of people breaking rear axles. I don't really know of any. I'm sure maybe somebody has, but I haven't heard of anybody.
Well, there's definitely been guys that have done it, but I'm not really. Neither of us are really the just going to send it type.
Yeah. Well, we both have trusses too, so that should help.
Yeah, I think there was one guy I saw. This is going back maybe 6 months ago. But he sheared the splines on the inner shaft.
Was it Eli Pizza Boy? I think's his name.
It was a guy with a 2-door. He's on the East Coast.
Okay.
But he sheared they just twisted.
Wow.
In the on the inside shaft.
Yeah. Nice.
What else?
Yeah, so this week I went live on YouTube, and I got a whole new suspension, Falcon reservoir, coilovers. I got the Ready Lift upper control arms that are fully adjustable, the lower rear links, and another Bronco member and a good friend of mine, Adam. We started tearing into my Bronco on Saturday, and we get the coil out the upper control arm. We're put in the other one, and we're looking at the lower control arm, and we're like, damn, this bolt is the 7/16 bolt coming out, but the bolt that they send us to go back in was 21 millimeters. And I was like, there's no way this is gonna fit. And we crawl under the Bronco, and we're like trying to get this bolt in there. We're using air hammers to get the other ones out, and 2 hours into this install, I put it back together because I couldn't get a hold of TerraFlex. And long story short, this week they're like, hey, I think you just have corrosion in there because it's a hardened bolt going into aluminum. Living in Ohio with the salt and all the water and mud that we've been through, it basically corroded inside of the lower control arm. And that's what was fighting the other bolt to go through. So I had to soak those lower control arms in a parts cleaner, take a pick to them, and clean out the diameter. At about 30 minutes of cleaning that out, the bolts slid right in there. So now Adam's going on vacation and I don't have somebody to help me put the suspension back together. But that was a challenge that we came across. TerraFlex's customer service was really good, man. They were asking for my VIN number. They were like, "What year Bronco? What have you done?" What, because they were just as puzzled. Like I sent them videos, like it would not go in.
Yeah, I know what I had mine done. Of course, I have the Radflows. Those RCI A-arm skids. I remember Attitude Performance, they put them stuff in for me. I remember them telling me that they were having issues with the bolts that came with those shocks and getting them through the A-arms and also using them with that not diff skid, but the A-arm skid. And I just thought I've been unique to that A-arm skid, but now as you mentioned this, I wonder if it had something to do with a similar situation, if it's because of the different bolt size of the corrosion or whatever.
Yeah.
Have a good night, Scott. He's jetting.
See you, Scott.
Yeah, with you being in Chicago, you had just as much salt and everything else, didn't you?
Pretty much, and especially in the city. In the city, it's horrible. With all that shit's just slung everywhere, and it's all black and brown snow. Not to worry about that no more.
Yeah, that's what I had. Like all that sand and stuff that we use in Ohio, they don't just typically use just salt. It's like a sand lime mix. And I mean, it really made a mess out of my stock lower control arms. And but we're ahead of it now, and hopefully we'll have that on before Bronco Stampede.
Yeah. Any other events you got coming up, Milton? I know Evan and I have talked about this stuff that we're doing here coming up soon, but no, other than Stampede, you got any events you got coming up?
Yeah, my last official event will be Overland East in Virginia. I'm going to meet Tri-State Overlanding out there and wheel with a bunch of Tacomas and 4Runners.
Nice.
We'll spend a couple days out there. And then other than that, probably just meeting with some friends and doing some winter camping.
Yeah. Well, that'd be nice. And that's the same Overland Expo that does the West ones, right now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have vendor alleys, and then you can get premier camping, and then they have like an off-road trail that they'll take you out on.
Oh, nice.
And then I think we're gonna try to get into the there's like a treasure chest hunt where you have to navigate using Onyx and find all these like different flags and stuff, and it's kind of like a poker run, but you'll find different treasures if you get there first, gift certificates or parts or whatever. So
Kind of
should be fun.
Kind of like a scavenger hunt type
Mm-hmm.
deal.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds like fun.
Yeah, I wish I was going to the Rubicon with you guys, though. I mean, that footage is. I was talking to Evan today. I was like, man, your footage from that's going to be insane.
Yeah. Well, between the two of us, hopefully we'll get some good stuff. Hopefully neither one of us will have any major fuck ups to where we're having to tow. Somebody's having to get towed home. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, it should be fun. I mean, it's, obviously it's the first time for both of us going out there. So, but there's a ton of videos, and every time I see a new one, or every time one of us sees a new one, we share it with the other just to kind of do some recon.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's another channel I'm not too fond of, but they released some new Rubicon trail and some new Bronco content. Everybody probably knows who it is, but man, I mean, those boulders that you guys are going to crawl are like larger than most of your Bronco. So, I mean, the technical stuff of that is going to be awesome. I think it'll be quite the challenge for sure, just navigating the right line.
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about, the APG Bronco, which I was kind of surprised with those 40s, to be honest with you. And I don't like to critique other influencers and such, but, I was kind of surprised that it rubbed as bad as it did with that. The APG bumper, but it's basically an Expedition Essentials bumper, or an Expedition 1 bumper. But I was very surprised at the 40s. I mean, they said that those were technically built to have 38s, but, still, I thought that would clear a lot better than it did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. The one thing I'm worried about with the new Falcons is the over travel, because I have the stock CV axles. I mean, I don't have a Sasquatch, so I don't have a where I can hit a button to get the sway bar to disconnect. So right now I have the sway bar just off. But you know, I'm a little worried about that because this suspension is 1.5 inches taller than my last suspension. I mean, and it's a massive shock.
Well, there's the king of no sway bars right to your upper right hand corner.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. So you don't run one at all, right? You're on mute.
You're on mute, Evan. But
Sorry.
there you go.
Yeah, I mean it's there. It's just been disconnected for 1.5 years.
Yeah.
Which ironically, we're both adding rear sway bars soon. So
Well, that's only to keep the 4-link in a. So I don't know if you've noticed video from the side of yours, Jody. Like when that rear axle is flexing, if you're looking at the side of your Bronco, when the rear axle drops down, you can see it because of the length of the links, right? You can see the wheel start to go towards the center of the Bronco.
Mm-hmm.
So it tucks down and in just a little. The Rock Jock kit is going to allow it to continue to droop like that without it curving towards the center of the Bronco. Should keep it in line with the shocks and everything. So like when you had your rubbing situation on your fuel skid,
yeah,
it should solve that.
Yeah, that's the main reason I'm gonna get. Plus, I do feel a little body roll at high speeds. Not a lot. Nothing I'm like, oh shit, you know, I've never had anything to where I panic over. But I can tell. I can just tell when I'm going.
There's definitely more body roll, but I mean, like again, I'm not running any sway bars whatsoever. So like when I drive mine, I'm like, yeah, that's fine. And then I drive Courtney's, I'm like, all right, that's a little bit tighter on the body roll side of it. So she's got the front and rear sway bar on hers.
But see, technically right now I'm like you, I'm not running any either because mine's a big bend, so it doesn't come with rear sway bar. I have a Panhard bar, but not a rear sway bar.
Now, is yours a 21?
Yeah, it's a very first gen. I got it July 2nd of 2020.
Yeah, I know the 2021 models, none of them have a rear one, my understanding, because mine doesn't either. And neither did Evans, and his is the base.
Yeah, so I bought all of the parts to have a rear sway bar because at the time I was hauling an overland trailer that I built. Yeah. And then what Ford did is they didn't weld a drop bracket on the driver's side. There's a drop bracket on the passenger side, but there's no bracket on the driver's side, so you can't mount one unless you had some custom tabs made. So, you know, like when I was working at Ford, I bought all these pieces, and then, you know, no one could tell me if it would fit or not. And I actually got the sway bar, all of the pieces off of a Wildtrak VIN number, and but Ford just simply didn't weld the tabs on that driver's side to be able to have them. So right now, when I took the front ones off, I have no sway bars at all. I feel more of like a dive when I hit the brakes. And, you know, getting on ramps, it's a little washy, but I also don't have that tunable suspension on there right now either. I'm just running the original 4-wheel parts kit that came out in July of 2021, which was a coilover kit. It's just not a reservoir kit. It was basically upper control arms, a 2.5 inch coil, and that's it.
So your new ones does have that adjustability though, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a medium, a firm, and a soft. So once you turn the red dial, and then there's 8 other compression settings for each one of those 1 through 3s.
I can tell you, Evan can vouch for this, but I love a firm.
They should have painted them blue instead of red.
I mean, you should reach out to them for a sponsorship deal. If they put a big Affirm sticker down the side, you get 0% on everything for life.
Yeah,
built by Affirm. It'd be nice. I don't think they'll be doing that because they probably like, hey, we're already getting all this money. We don't need to do that for them anyway.
Right. You're already using us anyway. Milton, do those have up travel limiters on them?
Oh, you muted mute, Milton.
Yeah, I have extremely loud keyboard. I don't think you guys want to hear clicking.
Do you have up travel limiters on those coilovers?
I'm looking. Hold on one second. I don't know that answer. ID Speed Shop. Hold on one second. I know it has massive bump stops in it at the bottom.
See, Evan, I was looking at mine. My bump stops on my rad flows are pretty long in the rear. I don't know if that's.
What'd you say, Jody? Sorry.
No, I was just saying, I don't know. My rear bump stops in those rad flows, they're pretty thin. They're at least a couple inches. So I
Yeah,
don't
but
know.
like on some of them, you can actually like dial in, not without using just the relocating the rubber bump stop. Sorry, the dogs are going nuts. Without relocating the rubber bump stop itself, you can actually control the up and down of the shaft internally.
Yeah, I don't think I can do that, but let me see here.
Miley hears Bodie and she's like over here growling now.
The little one chasing the big one around.
Yeah.
I know, like, eventually down the road, switching over to like ORIs on all four corners, but like, so say you have a 14-inch stick, right? You can set the up travel and down travel however you'd like. So if it's a 14-inch, you want to do 4 inches of up and 10 inches of down, or you can do 7 up, 7 down, whatever you want it to be, and you can change it as you please, and that's your coilover, that's your everything all in one.
Yeah, this has like a if you like look right here next to the red dial, it probably has about a 5 to 6 inch preload coil on top, like right where the Falcon is on the reservoir. If you look behind that, there's a piece right here that has like a softer spring in it, and then a hat, and then a secondary spring. You see it?
Mm-hmm.
So I mean that's about the only up or down travel there that you can control, and then it's got the internal bump stops here, and then you have the adjustable dials on the top. I mean they're beefy, and these are the 3.3s. They have a kit for 35s and 37s. This is the 37 kit. And then here's the upper controls. So they're adjustable. Yeah. That's what we got.
Nice.
It's quite an improvement over what I have now. I mean, the four-wheel parts lasted a long time. I mean, you can get if somebody was to just be getting into off-roading, I would recommend the four-wheel parts kit. Right now they have it like half price. You know, when I first got that, it was like $1,400 for each coilover, and then the upper control arms were $799. You can get all that stuff for half off now because Total Off-Road bought a lot of them out, so they're just selling off all of the four-wheel parts stuff.
Yeah, I wonder what the story is behind that, because down here we don't have four-wheel parts. We have Total Off-Road, and of course up in Illinois, and Evan can vouch for this, we have Total Off-Road. So I just kind of, who knows how that, but I was told recently by some people down here that it's only some states that Total Off-Road took over, not all of them, but apparently Arizona and Illinois are too.
Yeah, this is the kit that I'm taking off. It was the 2.5 kit, but you can see they don't even like post pictures of it anymore. Like only certain stores have it, but you can get a killer deal on it right now if someone was looking for, a decent suspension.
Yeah, I know that for a while. These were the only ones that were available.
Yeah, and then they weren't allowing anybody to buy them, so like they weren't allowing any other dealers to deal with them. I worked for Lebanon Ford Performance. We were building off-road vehicles, and they were like, nope, we want all the content to go through four-wheel parts.
Remember Mitchell Watts had that too because with his first Bronco that he built with TC Customs.
Yeah.
Now he sells his own suspension. He had to take his Bronco to 4-wheel parts, and of course they wouldn't let him film it. He filmed dropping it off and picking it up, but I remember that because I thought that was kind of odd. But,
yeah, they tried that stuff with me, and I basically told them, well, we're going to start looking at another company then, because this is how we sell cars here. We have to install this ourselves, and this is how we're able to give our customers warranty. So, I was looking at other off-road shops, and then they gave us a call, and they were like, go ahead and do it, but you can only do it in this amount of time. We have to wait for these other Broncos to come out. It was kind of a nightmare, but a lot of that stuff has cooled down a lot because so many parts are coming out on the market. But that's the kit I'm taking off.
Yeah. Well, you might be able to get some out of them, help offset some of the cost of the new ones.
Yeah,
I mean, I've had a few people already ask me, how much would I sell it for? And, I said a couple $100. I'm just looking to get it out of my garage.
Yeah.
I'll let it go. The coils, the Panhard bar, and the upper control arms. I got it all right now for sale for $800.
Nice. Yeah, I sold my old factory, the Bilsteins, but they had that Zon off-road kit on them. I can't remember how much I got on them, but I charged a little bit just because they were already installed. So it saved. Basically, you just had to swap them out, pure swap, instead of having, because that kit at the time, which it was a popular kit, where all the other coilovers started coming out, you had to like deassemble the struts and the shocks, the coilovers to put all that shit on, But now there's just so many coilovers out there. I don't think anybody even looks at those kits hardly anymore.
All right.
Did you get your skids put on, Evan?
No, it was hot as hell yesterday.
Same here. It's really hot.
And it's hit or miss. So like today, the high today was 73 degrees and it was misting all day and it felt like it was freezing, but the wind is blowing and the Bronco doesn't actually fit in the garage anymore. So I have to film it in the driveway.
You poor babies. It was like 115 here.
Yeah, but if you're standing out in the sun and humidity for
it's the garage, Jody.
Yeah.
A garage, it's hot as hell.
Just leave that door open and let the fan blow your air conditioning right in it, dude. I would be chilling that garage like no other.
Yeah.
I tried that, to be honest with you. It doesn't work too good though, because I've never got, even like had it open for like several hours, I've never got to really cool down there.
I was gonna take that tent air conditioner I made, I swear, yesterday, and just go buy like another 4-inch hose, 32 feet long, and just hook that thing up to my shirt and just finish pulling apart everything I had to do, because I was dying. I mean, I think I changed my clothes twice. I was like, I'm just sweating more than I've ever sweated before.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the humidity was like 9,000% Sunday and
yeah. My kids are like, when we go on camping, I was like, not till there's snow on the ground. If it's gonna stay this hot, I don't care.
It's too funny. You always get one of those that I know y'all seen on the videos that have that little contraption. You put it on your vent, and it has like a vacuum cleaner hose that runs up your short leg.
Yeah.
I always go back to the Sierra Mist commercial where like the guy's got all the fans running and his windows open, and you can just tell it's scorching hot in his apartment.
Yeah.
And he reaches in the freezer and pulls out a pair of boxers and throws them on. And they're like, Sierra Mist, it's like that. They're like frozen solid boxers. I'm like, that's what you need on a day like this.
Yeah. That's what we need for sure.
Yeah, it's like here, back in the Midwest and Tennessee in the winter, you have all these guys with these space heaters in their garages. Down here, you have people with swamp coolers, whatever you call them, those cool AC units. The only bad thing about them is that it has to be really dry, and you actually have to leave the door open. You have to have air from outside coming in, because when I tried to use it, like with the door open from the air in the apartment going out there, it didn't work very well. But it dropped it like from 113 to about 85, which is definitely a lot more manageable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the one that I have, I really like. I took a just a 4-inch exhaust fan, like for a green room, and I cut a hole in a styrofoam or like a high-end styrofoam cooler, and I froze like aluminum pie trays, like the big aluminum pie trays. I just fill them with water and make these giant ice blocks and just throw them in there. And man, I mean, it was definitely worth having. I got a couple of nights out of it camping, and I could show you where we got it to be like 50. I think I got it down to 58 degrees tent. There you go.
Yeah. It's a little too cold for me, but that's pretty good.
Let's see if we can show you the temperature that we got it down to.
Yeah, Evan, I still got to get a cot for that Gazelle tent for the Rubicon. I'm not even going to try. I'm not going to bother with an air mattress no more because every one I buy always ends up leaking.
Yeah, so here it is. Here, this is the 4-inch fan, and then it has this really nice electric display on it, and then you could see it was running 58 degrees. Now there's a 4-inch tube that comes off of it, and that was probably about a 5-foot long tube, and the thermal probe is like 5 foot away from the ice chest, and it was still that cold. And it was 80. I think that says 86 degrees outside, and that's in my rooftop tent. So it was worth it. And then I just run it off of this little EcoFlow River Max. It's like pulls. I think it was only pulling like maybe 27 watts total.
That's not bad.
Nah. So I sleep with the fan on anyways at night, so it was nice because it had a fan noise. But man, you don't want to sleep in a rooftop tent in high humidity and it's just miserable.
Yeah.
Your blankets stick to you and it's just nasty.
Yeah, I can see where that would be problematic.
Yeah. And it kept my little beers cold here too. See my beers over here? I had 2 beers right there. It was nice, man. I text my wife and I told her, it's like, the only thing I'm missing is you. And she's like, get the hell out of here.
Evan, is that the same response you get a lot of times?
No, we don't sleep without each other.
Yeah.
I'm not going camping unless she's going.
Yeah.
She went to Florida for like 3 days with her mom and sister, and I didn't sleep for 3 days.
Yeah, you get used to sleeping with somebody. It's kind of hard to break away from it.
Yeah.
Awesome. I went on another little spinning spree. Evan, those Morimoto headlights I've had forever, they're the second pair I'm on. The current ones, there's nothing wrong with them per se. I noticed when I hit bumps in the road, the beam bounces a lot. So I found a set of those Alpha Rex Alpha Blacks on sale. They're about the same price as the Form Lighting ones. So I figured I just went ahead and grabbed a couple of those real quick.
So my Form Lightings are starting to do that too. I think just off-roading these things really rattles them.
It very well may be, yeah. I mean, the Morimotos, they're getting to be really bad. But I had Alpha Rex on the old 4Runner, and they work really good. So I know they're a decent brand. They're just expensive as hell.
Yeah.
For no more than you get. So. All right. Anybody else got anything on their mind? Any questions, group, in the audience? Sanjay posted something about those versus Eibach Pro Truck. I'm not sure if he was talking about the ones you had up, Milton.
I did look at those as well. The Eibach ones are nice. They are adjustable as well. Most suspension coil springs that you buy out there have a Eibach coil on them. It's just really what the diameter of the oil tube is going to be and how it cools itself, the internal stuff. The reason why I went with Falcon this time is because I could rebuild it. The upper control arms are rebuildable. I got 61,000 miles on my Bronco right now, and it's been wheeling since the 30-day tag. I plan on keeping it for a long time. So, I mean, that's why I chose that one, but I did consider the Eibach one as well. So that is a good choice if you're looking at going with that one. We also sell that at ID Speed, you know, so if you're wanting that, I can hook you up for sure.
Nice. Yeah, definitely. We'll put the link to that place that you're working at in the chat or in the comments below, Milton, if you get a chance, just that way people can look at it. They'll put it in the description of the video afterwards as well.
Yeah. Yeah. If you just go to idspeedshop.com, that's where it's at.
Okay.
And then you can message me on Bareback Broncos on Instagram, and I'll send you right over to Eric Eldrith. He's the owner, and I'll let him know that you're part of our Bronco community, and we'll give you a great discount.
Nice. Did I spell that right? idspeedshop.com?
Yep, idspeedshop.com, correct.
Sweet. And you all take a firm?
He does, actually. I think he's got 0% right now.
Sure does.
I know what I'm doing how to get out here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm guilty as charged. I mean, this suspension that I just picked up was $5,200. So I mean, it hurts. My wife, we went on a walk tonight, and she's like, you know, if you didn't buy that suspension, we could have went to Florida. And I was like, yeah, make me feel bad, but we could go to Florida next year.
Florida's Florida.
That's what I'm saying. It's under a hurricane right now. We can't go to Florida.
Yeah.
0% on a firm beats 10% inflation every time.
Yeah. Hey, 0% a firm plus my discount. You're getting a pretty good deal.
There you
Absolutely. There you go. You can't beat that. Especially 0%. If you can get 0% on anything, it's really good because heck, that way you're basically getting an interest-free loan.
Yeah.
That's where they get you at. I mean, it's like in the normal credit cards, you know, they start charging these 23, 25% interest rates, and then you just never get it paid off because all your payments or most of your payments are going to interest.
Yeah, you're just accruing, and you can't get out of it.
Yeah, it's like that suspension that you buy, it's $5,000, ends up costing you about 10 to 15.
Exactly.
If you're paying on it any length, you know, for a long period of time.
Yeah.
You know, I think a lot of people don't realize that. Not that I'm some financial guru or anything, but you know, that's one of the things to always consider. I'll be honest with you, I got some credit cards I'm gonna pay off. After that, it'll probably mainly be like stuff like Affirm, to where I pay it off, and then once I pay that off, then I might buy something else to where I just try to keep it to where it's more controlled.
Yeah, I mean, like when I first started this, I used Affirm a few times with like Bronkbuster. You know, I brought the braces and the bushing, and you know, like my Blue Rhino wheels. When I had the blue wheels on it, I used Affirm. I mean, it doesn't hurt your credit. I mean, so you might as well use the 0% interest where you can. Yeah. And you know, we had it just coming out of a PayPal account, so I was kind of selling parts, and then it was just a wash for me. But I don't know how some of these guys are doing. You know, putting $25,000 portals and, you know, going on all these trips. I mean, I'm doing as much as I can, but geez, it's expensive.
Yeah, I don't think I'll ever have portals. If I was starting over fresh and I did like a base with nothing on it or some really low trim, that might be the only way I could justify it. But I mean, to be honest with you, you know, right now, I mean, I'm proving that you can run 38s comfortably with just a decent suspension lift and a mild body lift, you know, and the right offset tires. You know, it's just, to me, is like the portals are nice. You get a hell of a lot of ground clearance, and you don't have to re-gear because it does it for you. But
yeah,
that's a lot to pay. I know the Bronkbuster has a pair set out now. I think it's a little bit cheaper than some of the other brands. I think it's like 16, 17 grand.
Mm-hmm.
Still, that's a lot of money. I mean, granted, you're probably paying more than that. I know I probably paid more than that in just my suspension.
Yeah.
Upgrades, but still, you know, the way I did it and the way that you guys are doing it, we can pay over time as we can, as opposed to a huge ass lump sum.
Yeah, sure. And I mean, I have 3 kids, and, you know, I work a normal job. So, yeah, you do what you can. I mean, like, I think, you know, the amount of trails that we hit, it's a lot of fun. You know, my rig
I think we lost you. Something happened to Milton. Oh well.
He said
All
the
right.
storm was getting bad.
What's that?
He was talking about the storms heading his way.
Yeah, it may have got him. So real quick, while we'll see if he comes back on, but I know we don't have much time. But I want to go ahead and share something here, just so people can see it. His website that he's talking about here, the ID Speed Ship. Yep, look at there. Hot damn.
Yeah, he said his. Hold on.
No, I'm not gonna buy anything right now. I'd go back and use his link if I did. I just thought I'd check it out just so people can see what exactly he's talking about. I'm gonna make this window a little bigger so I can take that off. All cookies.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
said his battery died on his work computer. He left the charger at work, but he said, "Tell everyone thank you."
Well, no problem. Hey, Milton, if you're still listening or if you watch this afterwards, thanks for coming on, buddy. Special short. Yeah, you can see right here. They got a lot of cool stuff on here. Apparel. This is filtered to the 2021 Ford Bronco, which is what Evan and I both own. Of course, some of this is probably not, but yeah, definitely check them out. And that's lots of stuff on here. Got suspension. This is just the categories, but let's see what all he's got on here as far as suspension. He's got the FabTech. I've heard those are pretty good. Tie rods as well. A lot of FabTech. Got some Icons over here, which is what our friend here, Mr. Peterson, runs. Got some Foxes, it looks like.
Formerly of the Icons.
Well, you still run their coilovers though, right?
Yeah, for now.
Yeah. You have all your Foxes and some other stuff too. So you got lots of stuff here to choose from. Pretty much probably something to fit everybody's budget. So awesome. All right. Well, Evan, do you have anything else you want to bring up?
Not this time.
All right, man. All right. Well, guys, thank you all for watching. Like I said before, we do this every 2 weeks. We try to get some guests on just to kind of shake things up a little bit. If you know of anybody or anybody that you think would be a good guest, feel free to shoot us a DM on social media at Bird Dog Off-Road Adventures, Adventures of Rogers and Henderson.
Therapy Live's Instagram.
Yeah, their Therapy Live Instagram, Bronco Adventures. Hit us up, and we'll see if we can get you on. And love to just chit chat and talk. It's good we'll talk to other enthusiasts and get good ideas from other people as well as sharing our own. So, all right, boys and girls.
Have a good night.
Night.